Hi, Storytime friends. It's great to be back. What do we always start with? It's almost time for story time, so let's get some wiggles out. I was thinking maybe we could do the head and shoulders song again. Do you remember head, shoulders, knees, and toes? That was really fun last week. So I think this time I'm going to try to back up a little bit, move my camera. You won't be able to see my toes, but you'll be able to see my movements a little bit better. Okay, so we're going to start head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Remember? Okay, here we go. Got it? Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees and toes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees and toes. Okay, how'd you do? The next one is feet, tummies, arms, and chins. Can we do that one together? Starting at the floor. Feet, tummies, arms, and chins, arms and chins. Feet, tummies, arms, and chins, arms and chins. Eyes and ears and mouth and shins. Remember on the front of your legs? Feet, tummies, arms and chins, arms and chins. How'd you do that time? Okay, the next one is hands, fingers, legs, lips. Okay, ready? Hands, fingers, legs, and lips, legs and lips. Hands, fingers, legs, and lips, legs and lips. Eyes and ears and mouth and hips. Hands, fingers, legs, and lips, legs and lips. How'd you do? Should we do one more head and shoulders? All right, ready? Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. All right. Thanks, friends. That was pretty fun. Okay, let's see what time it is. We got a couple more minutes. So, how about some big stretches? We'll go way out to the sides. And how high up in the air can you reach? I bet you guys are growing so big, I don't get to see you every week. I bet you're getting tall, tall, tall. How high can you reach now? Down to your toes. And pat your head. Rub your tummy. What if we tried to pat our head and rub our tummy? Do you think you could do that? I'm going to try. Pat. Uh-oh. Whoops. Okay, let me try this way. Pat. Oh, that's a little bit easier for me. I think I like it that way. Okay, how'd you do? Can you do it? I don't know. Okay, we have 1 minute left. What do you think you'd like to do for 1 minute? Can we count? Let's do some counting. Let's use our fingers for wiggling and counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers on this hand. What's after 5? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Both of my fingers have, or both of my hands have 5 fingers, right? And so if I have 5 on this hand and 5 on this hand, that just made us be able to count to 10. Good job counting, friends. Okay. Are we ready to sing our hello song and get started on stories? Get your clapping hands. Let's clap and sing hello. We'll clap and sing hello. With our friends at story time, let's clap and sing hello. Stomping feet, ready? Stomp and sing hello. We'll stomp and sing hello. With our friends at story time, let's stomp and sing hello. How about waving? Let's wave and sing hello. We'll wave and sing hello. With our friends at story time, let's wave and say hello, friends. I'm so happy to be here and sharing some more stories with you. And I want to know how your week was. Did you get to go outside at all with all that wind we had? It was really cold. I needed all of my gear to go outside in that cold, cold weather. And I couldn't find my hat. My ears got so cold. Have you guys ever lost any gear? Couldn't find your boot? Didn't have a glove? Maybe you lost your hat too? So I have a couple stories today about missing mittens. And they're both a little bit fun, and I hope that you like them. This one is the missing mitten mystery. Let's see if we can find out how to solve this mystery. Can you guys see that? Oscar, I lost my other mitten. That makes 5 mittens this winter. I'm in big trouble. Let's search every place we played today. We'll start at the hill where we rode on Ralph's sled. Here's Ralph's boot, but there's no mitten. I'll look around the castles we built with Ralph and Herbie and Ruth. That was really fun. Here's Ralph's other boot. How did Ralph get home with no boots? And Ruth's sock and Herbie's sweater, but no mitten. Boy, these kids lost all their stuff. Oscar, you found it. Oh, wow, a flying mitten. Is that a mitten, friends? What does that look like? I don't know if that's a mitten. Uh-oh. It's only a bird. I wonder if he stole my mitten to make a snuggly nest. No, I think he's too small to carry off my mitten. But an eagle could do it. Maybe an eagle took my mitten to keep his baby's head warm. Do you think my mitten got tired of being a mitten? Maybe it just slipped off my hand and hopped away. There are no mitten tracks, but there are some mouse tracks headed toward the woodpile. Could that mouse be using my mitten for a sleeping bag? Or maybe he'll wear it next Halloween and be a mitten mummy. Let's go see if I dropped my mitten while we were making the snowman to surprise Miss Seltzer. I haven't seen your mitten, Annie, but why don't you look in the garden where you were making snow angels? See their snow angels? Finding missing mittens is hard work. It would be easier to grow new ones. Let's try planting the other mitten right here in the garden. Next spring, when the snow melts, a little mitten tree might sprout. Miss Seltzer and I would take good care of it all summer long. In the fall, we'd pick the ripe mittens. Do you think that would work, friends? Then I'd give mittens on Christmas. And mittens on birthdays, whoops. And mittens on Valentine's Day. Oscar, it's getting dark. And it's starting to rain. We'll never find that mitten. Come inside, Annie. I made some hot chocolate for us. And I've got a biscuit for Oscar. Look, the rain is melting the snowman. But what's that spot on his chest? Gracious, your snowman has a heart. Do you see that, friends? My mitten is the heart of the snowman. Did you like that story, friends? I thought it was pretty fun. That was a good story to share. Our next story is also about a missing mitten. Have you seen this one before? It's called The Mitten, and we're actually going to use the board too. I'm going to see if I can zoom in just a little bit. Maybe I can make my camera work. Let's see, because I want you guys to be able to see the mitten. Oops. Okay, so the mitten. Can you see that red mitten on the board? We'll be using that too. Okay, here we go. Once there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. At first, his grandmother Baba did not want to knit white mittens. If you drop one in the snow, she warned, you'll never find it. What color is our mitten, friends? It's not white. Does anybody know what color it is? Did you say red? And what's at the top of our mitten? What color is that? Is that blue? Good job. Okay. All right. So Nicky wanted snow white mittens, and finally, Baba made them. I think a white mitten would be hard to find. After she finished, she said, when you come home, first I will look and see if you're safe and sound, but then I will look to see if you still have your snow white mittens. So off Nicky went, and it wasn't long until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow. Do you see it down there, friends? And it was left behind. Do you see that little critter right there? That little critter was a mole. A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size. Do you see him? I have a mole. Whoop, can you see him? He's wearing a hat. He's kind of funny. And I thought we would put our mole in our mitten, just like this story. What do you think? There he is. We have a mole in our mitten. Let's see what happens next. Okay, a snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw the mitten, and he wiggled in, feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. I have a rabbit. You like my rabbit? He's pretty cute. I thought maybe we'd put him in here with the mole. There we go. We have a mole and a rabbit in our mitten. Let's see what happens next. Next, a hedgehog came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being ones to argue with someone covered with prickles, they made room. What kind of an animal was that? A hedgehog. Look at my prickly hedgehog. Let's put him in the mitten too. Move over, guys. The prickly hedgehog is coming in. There he goes. Boy, that mitten is getting pretty stuffed, isn't it? Uh-oh. As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped down. When he decided to move in also, the mole, rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled. But when they saw the owl's glinty talons, they quickly let him in. I bet I might have an owl. Should we put him in the mitten too? All right, here he goes. Move over, guys. There he goes. He's in the mitten. That mitten is getting pretty full. Up through the snow. Whoops, which way do I go? Appeared, what is this? A badger. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left. But when they saw his daggers, they gave him the thumb. All right, what kind of an animal was that? A badger. You like my badger? Okay, here he goes. He's pretty big. Squeeze on in there, Mr. Badger. Okay. Boy, look at that mitten. It is stuffed. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox, trotting up, stopped to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. The fox poked his muzzle in. When the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. There's my fox. You like him? Pretty cute. Where does he go? Into the mitten, right? Here you go, Mr. Fox. Get in there. All right. And next, whoa, what? A great bear lumbered by. He spied the mitten all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in as tightly as could be, but what animal would argue with a bear? The mitten swelled and stretched. It pulled and bulged too many times its size, but Baba's good knitting held fast. Oh, I think I have a bear. Shall we see if he'll fit in our mitten? I think maybe. Get in there, Mr. Bear. There he goes. All right. Along came a meadow mouse, no bigger than an acorn. She wriggled into the one space left and made herself comfortable on top of the bear's great nose. Do you see her? Oh, wait. We need a mouse. Here's our mouse. And we're going to put him in our mitten. Okay, there he is, right there next to the bear's nose. And what happens? The bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. Achoo! The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. Can you imagine if our bear sneezes? Achoo! Oh no! And there's our mitten. It went flying and landed over there. Okay. And now, on his way home, Nicky saw a white shape in the distance. It was his lost mitten, silhouetted against the blue sky. As he ran to catch his snow-white mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. First, she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his new mittens. Is that one a little stretched out, you think? Oh, look at there, friends. Is that pretty funny? She's wondering, what did he do? So what did you think of our mitten stories? They were pretty fun. Okay, so sometimes it's kind of fun to be able to have different stories about the same things, right? I like that. I like to be able to read more than one story about things that I'm interested in or things that are fun. I think that might be why I like to work at the library. So, our last story is about a bear from a book. It's also about a library. And it's called Otto the Book Bear. And I hope you like it. What does that look? Does that look like the shelves in the library, friends? Otto the Book Bear. Once upon a time, Otto was a book bear. He lived in a book on a shelf in a house. And he was at his happiest when the children read his book. But Otto also had a special secret. When no one was looking, he came to life. Where's he going? Otto loved to explore the house, to read his favorite stories, and to practice his writing. But one day, something terrible happened, and Otto was left behind. What does it look like? Did they move? Oops, he wasn't in his book. Otto didn't like being all alone, so he made a plan, packed a bag, and set off on a new adventure. But the world outside made Otto feel very small. Can you find Otto, friends? Do you see him? Way down there. He's just little. Nobody seemed to notice him. Otto began to search the city, hoping to find a new place to live, but nowhere he went felt like home. He was too busy, too wet, too cold, too smoky, too high, too windy, and too unwelcoming. Can you think of a place for a book bear, friends? Otto didn't like living in the city, and he missed his warm book. He was just starting to feel downhearted, but he decided to pick up his bag and keep on walking. And just when he thought he couldn't walk any further, when he felt cold and tired, Otto saw a place full of light and hope. He went inside and found rows and rows of books. Otto began to climb, and there at the end of the shelf, he saw something. Could it be? What is it? It was another book bear. The other bear took Otto's paw and said, "I'm Ernest. How do you do?" Otto's new friend showed him around the library, and he discovered it was full of book creatures just like him. Together with Ernest, he could once again read his favorite stories, practice his writing, and try out all kinds of exciting things. And the best was, now Otto had lots of readers, and that made him the happiest book bear of all. That says happily ever after. What did you think? I thought that was a pretty fun story. Did you have a favorite? I have a hard time choosing every week. And this week, I actually think I liked the Book Bear story because it's a good reminder that we can borrow books from the library, and then when you bring them back, you can borrow more books from the library, and you can get books about the things that you're interested in and fun stories, and I don't know, the library's like my favorite place. So I really liked the Book Bear story. So, shall we see what the project is for this week? I bet it's something about mittens or libraries or maybe both. Okay, let's see. This says, February is Library Lovers Month. Library stories and mitten tales Okay, tell a winter story with pictures and words. That sounds fun. Make mittens. Have you ever drawn around your hand? Did you see that? Where's that picture? Right there. Have you ever put your hand on a piece of paper? So we have I'm going to make blue. So we have blue paper and we folded it in half because we need two mittens, right? Because we have two hands. That's a good idea. All right, so then I would put my hand here and I would use a crayon to draw around my hand. Let me see if I can do that. I will draw around my hand. Whoa, whoops. My mitten doesn't really have a thumb. I need to fix that. There we go. Is that better? Okay. So then I would take scissors and I'm gonna cut out my mitten. Do you use scissors? You might still need mom and dad's help, maybe. Sometimes it's good to have helpers with sharp things, right? Okay, so now I have two mittens. Look at there. I made some. Okay, and then you can use your crayons and you can decorate your mittens like Miss Carol did. Look at that one. That's really pretty. Or like this one. Those are really cool. And then Miss Carol likes to hang hers on a mitten tree. It says, cut out, and you'll have two mittens, decorate, and hang on a mitten tree, or make mini mittens to share. Oh, wait, mini mittens, look at that one. You can make mittens of all sizes. Mine are really big. Your whole family could make mittens, and you could make a decoration with them. Everybody's hands. That would be kind of fun. I like it. So if you come to the library, I would sure love to see your project if you make some mittens and you want to show them to me. That would be so fun. And remember, you can check out books and take them home. They're yours to borrow, and then you bring them back and you can borrow more books. And I think that's all we have for today, friends. I'm so happy you joined me for story time, and I hope to see you next week. Bye for now.